Good evening, and welcome to the spring semester of the Islam 101 class. We're very happy to be offering this for the third time here at the North Austin Muslim Community Center. And we hope that this will be something valuable and continuing for the greater Austin community. I begin with the name of God, who is the most gracious and the most merciful. All the praises for Him. And peace and blessings be upon all of His prophets and messengers, from Adam to Noah to Abraham to Moses to Jesus and to their seal, Muhammad. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon them all. My name is Islam Mossaad, so it's already difficult from the beginning. We don't have a in the English language. And I serve here as Imam, which is basically a spiritual leader in the community. And I've been here in Austin since I was 2 years old. Before that, I was in Arlington, Virginia. So I don't remember the snow and stuff, but I've been serving here at the mosque as an imam for about 3.5 years at this mosque here. So I'm very excited to start. Even though this is very basic and fundamental, it's always interesting to hear your participation and your questions and your perspectives as well in this course. And so today is very basic and introductory, and what we will be looking at is just knowing a little bit more about the Muslims who are here in Austin, Texas, and in the state of Texas, but also looking at a sort of linguistic and philosophical discussion on what is Islam, then concluding with who are the Muslims. So just a few housekeeping items before we get started. If at any point you need to use the restroom or anything like this, the men's room is over here behind me. The women's room is on this opposite wall. You just go around this partition. We will be taking a break for some refreshments at 7:40, and then after the refreshments, continuing until 8:30. All that, of course, God permitting. And so please do feel very comfortable. There are a lot of Muslims here as well that you can ask. So please, this is, what do we say here? We say, mi casa es tu casa? Or do we say tu casa es mi casa? Your house is my house, or my house is your house? This is, God's house. But we'll talk a little bit about that, inshallah. Inshallah, by the way, is a term that you will hear me use frequently. All it means is God willing. So let's go ahead and get started. So where you are, this is a multi-purpose hall of what is on this sort of small campus. It's the North Austin Muslim Community Center. There's a house structure which was here when this land was purchased. That house was quickly renovated into a mosque. A mosque is a place where the 5 daily prayers from dawn, early afternoon, late afternoon, sunset, and late night prayers take place. And so it's a very functional space. This, however, is used for many different functions, such as the Friday prayer, because it's the largest building that we have. The Friday prayer is the Muslim congregational day of the week. And also this is where dinners and different things can take place. The North Austin Muslim Community Center, it's around the mid-90s that it became established here in North Austin. And it currently is the largest by population congregation of Muslims, and that is for obvious reasons. North Austin has become sort of a population center for the whole city itself. It's a very diverse community with people from so many different countries of origin, as well as people who are from here, many generations, whether Caucasian American, African American, or even a few immigrant families that have been here 4 or 5 generations as well. So it's a very diverse community, and we'll get to that when we talk about the diversity of Muslims as well. A few other things about the North Austin Muslim Community Center. The main purpose is to facilitate the prayers for the Muslims, but also we like to do events like this, outreach to the community. There's also education, especially targeted towards learning the Quran for the children and learning the Arabic language, amongst other things. How about Muslim, I said recent history because it's not like a lot of history. Whenever I do interfaith, one time I did an interfaith event and I asked First Baptist Church, how long y'all been here? So, 100-something years, I don't know how many. And I asked University Baptist, 70-something years. Up the road, there's also a Baptist church, been here for a while. So the first mosque in Austin was pretty much around this 75, 76, maybe even 77. Does anybody know the mosque near the university campus? Anybody been there? Yeah, you know it. So it's at Oasis? You walk past it? Okay. Have you ever been in? Oh, that's great that you're here. So I'm going to have to introduce you to the imam from there. He'll be very happy to meet you. So that's actually the mosque. I grew up at that mosque. Because I grew up here in Austin. I was a kid running around, climbing trees, jumping off roofs, in addition to praying in the mosque, of course. As you get older, you do a little bit less of the jumping off roofs and do a little bit less of that and do a little bit more of the praying. So that is actually the first mosque in Austin. It's still there. It serves primarily a large Muslim student community. Of course, University of Texas, it goes without saying. Large university, anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 Muslim students probably on campus. The building is there. Also, the community very rapidly grew. When I was growing up here in Austin in the 80s, we just had that one mosque. And for Friday prayer, which is kind of the gauge of the weekly numbers, we had perhaps altogether, brothers and sisters, not more than 100 people. Currently, this mosque, we have to do 3 different services on Friday just because of the limitations in space. We have about 1,000 people who are coming to this mosque, and then we have 6 other mosques besides this mosque. Total population now in Austin is anywhere from 10 to 15,000 if you include Pflugerville, Round Rock. So basically, the history of Islam in Austin is it's very rapid in its growth for various reasons. A lot of the brothers here and families and so on in the IT and other fields that are growing up here in Austin. But it's just a growing faith here in Austin, Texas. Many people around you probably are Muslim. Maybe you don't know it or you do know it. Also, we have in the history been developing from the very basic foundation of just having a place to observe the obligation of a Muslim in prayers, but then to Muslims understanding that this is where they will stay, and this is where their children will be, and their grandchildren. And so then you have this slow sort of institutionalization, such as having schools. These are 2 private schools here in Austin, which are Islamic schools. And also this is a name of a school which actually runs out of this mosque, where they memorize the Holy Quran, which is about 600 pages. It's a big achievement for them when they do that. And of course, there are other sort of educational, social, civic groups. So I really wanted to start out with who are the Muslims in Austin before actually talking what may seem a little bit more abstract when we talk about the faith itself. So any questions about Muslims here in Austin, Texas, that you may have? No? Don't be afraid to ask questions. I like questions. That's what makes these sessions good, inshallah. So no questions about Muslims here in Austin. All right. A lot of Muslim Longhorn fans. I should have wore a burnt orange. We call this a thobe, by the way. I saw just one brother. He had a burnt orange. He's a UT student. He's got one of these, but it's burnt orange. And so when it's game day, he wears it.